Welcome back, boxing fans. I think knockout boxing fucking literally got a screw loose, right? When fucking Bud Crawford beat the crap out of fucking Errol Spence, I think it fucking shook something in knockout boxing, so that now he believes his own fucking delusional narratives, right? Now he's justifying the fact that people literally have been asking Tank Davis to take on top-level opponents for fucking well over 6 years, and he hasn't given us any of those fights. And finally, when he fights a guy that we think at least is medium of a challenge and potentially dangerous because of his left hand in Ryan Garcia, people praise him for taking on at least finally somebody that wasn't too bad. Still was never a world champion, right? But now he's deflecting this, going, so if Tank Davis ain't giving you the fights you want, why is everybody excited about people fighting Tank Davis leftovers? Well, first of all, Frank Martin is not Tank Davis's leftover. Shakur Stevenson was supposed to fight him before Tank Davis. And this was Shakur Stevens' first world title fight at 135. Unlike Tank Davis, who's been at the weight fucking for a long time, hasn't fought anybody, didn't win a legitimate world title, was just emailed the title, and has never tried to unify against any of the other world champions, including undisputed champion Devin Haney. But I know it's all Devin Haney's fault. It's always everybody else's fault. Tank Davis literally ducked Lomachenko for fucking 6 years, but now he wants to fight Lomachenko. So Lomachenko better not duck him now. Oh my God, right? He's acting as if people are excited about Shakur fighting Frank Martin's leftovers. Nobody's fucking excited about that fight. No one even understands why that fight is happening. He's literally fighting a dude that's coming off of a loss against a guy in Frank Martin who's never fought a top 10 135 pounder. Nobody's excited about that fight. Nobody fucking is even making videos about that fight. But we know why Top Rank's giving it to him, because it's the last fight of his contract, so they're throwing him a bone, hoping that he looks good, and hopefully that he feels good, that they're giving a big payday to take on a chump in his last contracted fight with the contract. Hopefully he'll re-sign, right? So we understand why Top Rank's doing it, but nobody's asking for it. No one's excited about it. And now he tried to spin this more so, saying, oh, so Isaac Cruz was a chump and no one was asking for that fight. Well, nobody was asking for that fight. He was literally a replacement opponent for fucking Rolly Romero. Somebody literally nobody was asking for as an opponent. And when Cruz fought Rolly Romero, people understood that fight. Two bum-ass leftover fucking Tank Davis opponents fighting each other. But the fact that there was a world title on the line, nobody agreed with that shit. But that was just typical PBC WBA bullshit. The same kind of WBA bullshit that just gave Tank Davis a fucking second weight legitimate world title. Emailed that shit to him, of course. I don't know how you stick a belt in an email, but somehow they did it. They managed it, and Tank got it, and now he's wearing it into the ring. But he goes, oh, so you mean you don't want Devin Haney unifying titles at 140? Oh, so now we're going to criticize Devin Haney for facing world champions in unification fights. Something Tank Davis has never fucking done in his career. He literally fought Isaac Cruz when he was an unknown fighter as a replacement opponent, because that's how afraid they were bringing him in last minute to replace Rolly Romero, right? He went on to beat Rolly Romero, not that that fucking says too much, and now he's got a useless WBA title. If Devin Haney fights him for unification, Devin Haney's doing something Tank Davis has never even dreamed about doing. He already became undisputed in one weight class, unifying titles. We're still waiting for fucking Tank Davis to unify any titles at any weight. Please, 130, 135, 140. It don't fucking matter. But somehow he thinks this is a twist, a spin. Because, oh, if these opponents are so terrible, why you want everyone else to fight him? No one's asking for Devin Haney to fight fucking Cruz. But if he does, at least it's a unification fight. Really, people are asking him to fight Teofimo Lopez, obviously, because that's a way bigger fight, a big money fight. But you're going to say, oh, Well, people were happy that he fought Ryan Garcia. What? Devin Haney, unlike Tank Davis, became an undisputed champion and then fought a top-level fighter, a pound-for-pound quality dude in Lomachenko to defend those titles, and then moved up and beat Regis Prograis to win a legitimate world title, not get emailed a title by the WBA, right? Fought Ryan Garcia, we know why. Fought him so he could get a big pay-per-view to put his name and his number up in the conversation with Tank Davis so that possibly they could actually negotiate with Tank Davis on an even playing field to potentially make a matchup between the two of them. But for some reason, that would make you upset because, well, Devin Haney's not on the same level as Tank Davis. Okay, well, let's keep pushing that bullshit because we know how well that fucking manages fights to get made. It doesn't. Because literally when Saudi Arabia threw out the possibility of making Tank Davis Devin Haney fight, Tank Davis fucking showed no interest at all. Even though we know the way Saudi Arabia negotiates. It has nothing to do with the other opponent. It only has to do with you. So you could negotiate whatever you want to get the Devin Haney fight and actually take a fight that people would have been excited about. And now in hindsight, it looks like you probably should have did that because it wouldn't have been that hard work after all. Not if Ryan Garcia could do what he did. But see, this is the problem when you're a fanboy of a fighter so bad that, you know, we saw what you did for the last fucking 3 years with regards to Spence and Bud Crawford. Literally went out of your way to twist every narrative, to shit on Bud Crawford, and somehow shine a fucking light on Errol Spence as if he could do no wrong. Nothing that happened he was responsible for. That all fingers and all blame was pointed towards Bud Crawford. And karma come and bit you in your fucking ass. And Errol Spence. Ruining his career, sending his ass basically into fucking retirement. And now, you only have Tank Davis to fucking rest on now. And you're pushing the same kind of delusional fucking narratives with regards to him. Like, literally the biggest fight you can make at 135 is Shakur Stevens, Tank Davis. But you'd rather somehow create this back and forth animosity. BFTB and the LDBC can support one fighter and you can support the other. And then you guys can make content by going back and forth with delusional takes that really don't reflect anything of what boxing fans want. Because anyone that thinks that Tank Davis and Shakur Stevens isn't the fight to make, obviously isn't really a boxing fan. Because that is a huge fight, regardless of who you think is going to win. Whoever does win, that is by and far the best name on their resume. And a legitimate victory to propel you probably into the top 5 of the pound-for-pound rankings. If that was Tank, this would be his first unification fight. If this was Shakur, it wouldn't be his first unification fight. He already unified. And is legitimately in his 3rd weight class fighting for real world titles. Not fake-ass email fucking titles that you don't actually have to fight someone. You just get elevated. Right? And don't come across as if somehow I'm hating on Tank Davis, because that's not the case. I'm hating on fanboys that push out these delusional fucking takes that are just ridiculous. Trying to spin and twist everything to somehow make it seem as if the fighter they fucking dick ride for can do no wrong. Is never responsible for anything. Did not duck a career payday to unify with fucking Tevin Farmer. Didn't blatantly duck and talk about aging out Lomachenko fucking 6 years ago. Didn't fucking actually fight at lightweight, yet didn't fight Lopez, didn't fight Haney, didn't fight Shakur, didn't fight Lomachenko. Like, who the fuck you been fighting? 130-pound champion. A dude that's never been a champion. A guy that was a replacement opponent. And some bum-ass motherfucker that only got the fight because he's got a big mouth. Literally, this is what Tank Davis has been doing at 135. What a fucking legacy. I mean, Jesus Christ. Those fights are going to age well. I mean, at least Frank Martin looks like he might have something to actually offer. But yet the guy's a 30-year-old fucking prospect. A 30-year-old prospect who's never fought a top 10 135-pounder. So, you know, this might be his first and only opportunity to fight in a big fight. If he gets his ass knocked out quick, don't expect to ever hear from him again. Right? All people want to see is top fighters fight. Not people start pushing the politics and fucking the position of power and A-side stuff. This is not your job to fucking promote a fighter and fucking protect him through these kind of fucking situations. Your job as a boxing fan is to want to see your fighter actually fight somebody to prove he's great. Not to go, well, he's the A-side. You know, he can do what he wants. Yeah, he's the A-side, but he never offered anyone a fucking contract. Ever. But you're the A-side. So offer someone a fucking contract. Go above and beyond. Try to make a fucking deal happen. Because at this point, you're 30 years old, and the biggest fight you've had was against a fucking social media guy in Ryan Garcia. Congratulations. What a fucking legacy that is.